Pep Guardiola. Once football's untouchable genius, the man who turned Barcelona into a poetry slam, Bayern into a German tank, and Manchester City into a cheat code squad that made winning look boring. But now, my guy is making mistakes that would embarrass a fudging Sunday League coach who can't spell offside. The tactical mastermind who revolutionized football is currently its most beautiful disaster. 6 new signings, £250 million spent, and somehow, the nightmare has only gotten worse. So how the shiz did the greatest manager of all time become football's biggest car crash? This is the complete story of Pep Guardiola's meltdown. To understand Pep's fall, we gotta go back to where the legend was born. Barcelona, 1990. Johan Cruyff's dream team is vibing, and tucked into midfield is this scrawny kid named Josep Guardiola. Not fast, not strong, but holy fudge buckets. The kid had a football brain that saw the future like Dr. Strange. Under Cruyff, Pep learned football wasn't just about winning, it was about how you won. By the time he retired in 2001, he'd lifted the Champions League, 4 La Liga titles, and the captain's armband of the greatest club on earth.
Guardiola technically was a great player, great vision, but he was in a position that he had to defend. He was playing in front of the defense. So I said, can you defend? I let Romario or whatever, they were outplaying him. I'm not a defender too. But if I've got to defend all this blue, I'm a very bad defender. But when I've got to defend this table, I'm the best defender. So not a question of I'm a good or bad one. It's the size, it's the meters, what you've got to defend. So I said to Guardiola, football-wise, offensive life, you're better than anybody. But sometimes we don't have the ball and you've got to defend. Your only job is to get the 2 other midfielders, one here, one there. You defend the table. You're one of the best defenders.
But Pep was never built for retirement. Nope, he was built to manage. Fast forward to 2008 Barcelona are in shambles. Truffleless. Lost. The board takes a gamble and gives Pep the keys. What happens? Pure magic. Treble in year 1. Tiki-taka so smooth it made defenders dizzy. Lionel Messi unlocked like a cheat code. 14 trophies in 4 seasons. Then Bayern. 3 Bundesliga titles. Then Manchester City. The Centurions. The treble. 6 Premier League titles in 7 years. By 2023, Pep wasn't just a manager. He was football's closest thing to a god.
It completely transformed the way of people thought, I think, in this country about the game, how the game could be played in the Premier League.
In that time, when I was in Spain and he was in Barcelona, he changed football in Spain, then he moved to Germany and he changed the football in Germany and moved here and changed.
Including the Premier League and so he's having a lot of influence.
I think he broke down some barriers in terms of how you can be successful in it and the way you approach things.
Revolutionary. In his way, he's being so dominant, and you can see the impact, not just in Premier League, because it's unfair to talk about Premier League, but to see around Europe.
One of the best managers in the history about talking about football.
Dani, Rodri, Jude, así, y así.
When we are in that position, we pass. What is the space? It's carrying. When the ball is here like that, it's the lead.
Contra. No es posible.
But guess what? God's fall. And Pep's crash? Holy fudging shiz. It's been spectacular. August 2024. Community Shield. Manchester City versus Manchester United. On paper, easy dub. In reality, City scrape a 1-1 draw and only win on penalties. Pep admits after, "We were closer to losing than winning." The red flags are already waving like it's Chinese New Year. First 13 league games, 10 wins, 3 draws, unbeaten. Classic City, right? Wrong. Look deeper. Defense leaking 1.3 goals a game, the worst in Pep's career. Even with Rodri playing, they looked mortal. September 22nd, Arsenal away. Haaland loses his mind at Gabriel Jesus. Cameras catch Pep looking like he just saw a ghost. 1 week later, boom. Disaster. Rodri tears his ACL. Season over. Pep's irreplaceable puzzle piece gone. But hey, Pep's Pep, right? He always finds a solution. Wrong again. From October 30th onward, it's apocalypse mode. 5 games, 5 losses, Bournemouth, Brighton, Spurs, even fudging Sporting Lisbon. Then, December 3rd, Feyenoord at home. City up 3-0. Comfortable. For 75 minutes, it looked like the nightmare might be over. Then Feyenoord score. Then score again. Then score again. 3-3. Pep on the sidelines literally scratching his bald head until it bled. 942 games managed, and for the first time, a Pep team bottled a 3-goal lead. The pressers get bleak. We only have 13 players. Bro, you're Pep fudging Guardiola. You once bragged you'd win with 11 players all season. Now you're crying like someone ate your last churro. By January 2025, Liverpool and Arsenal are gone at the top. City are cooked, and Pep looks like a man haunted by time itself. Summer 2025. City try the old fix. Money. 6 new signings. £250 million. And the shiny, crown jewel 21-year-old French baller Ryan Cherki, rocking the sacred number 10 shirt after Jack Grealish dipped. Opening day? 4-0 demolition of Wolves. Media's hyped. Fans are buzzing. Pep's grinning like a man who just discovered TikTok. But 1 week later, Spurs show up at the Etihad and slap them 2-0. James Trafford gives Spurs a goal with a blunder that would embarrass your drunk uncle in Sunday League. The squad suddenly looks like strangers wearing City kits. And it gets worse. August 31st, Brighton away. Haaland scores in his 100th Premier League game. Rodri's back after a year and pulling strings like old times. For 6 to 7 minutes, it's vibes. Then 39-year-old fudging James Milner, who hadn't scored since 2019, buries a penalty. Brighton smell blood. 89th minute, some kid named Brajan Gruda scores the winner. 2-1. Brighton. City didn't just lose. They forgot how to play football. Pep admits, "We concede and then forget how to play." Bro, that's like Gordon Ramsay saying, "Sorry, I forgot how to boil water." By now, even Rodri is roasting his own teammates. Some of these mistakes are kids' mistakes. We're not at the level. This is our reality. Ouch! The pressure piles up. Arsenal smash City 5-1. Pep admits, "I still don't know why it's not clicking." Translation? I'm cooked. Meanwhile, the 115 financial charges are hanging over City like a guillotine. Rival fans chant about it. Pep flexes 6 fingers for his 6 league titles. Instead of badass, it just looks desperate. Even Jose Mourinho throws shade. "I won 3, and I won clean." Bruh. When Mourinho is the one flexing honesty at you, you know it's bad. Now Pep's contract runs until 2027. But the board's patience? Evaporating. The fans' faith? Cracking. Is this how legends die? Not with glory, but with fudging humiliation? Or does Pep have one miracle left in him? Because this nightmare isn't over. It's only just begun. But wait, hold the fudging panic. This saga isn't over yet, because Pep Guardiola, he's not just Artie McTactical, he's a magician. And every magician packs a few tricks up his sleeve, even when the rabbits half disappeared. First, check out Ryan Cherki. This 21-year-old French maestro arrived from Lyon after notching 12 goals and 20 assists last season and leading Europe's Big 5 leagues in expected assists with a jaw-dropping 0.53 XA per 90. Yeah, that's 1 assist every other game, mathematically speaking. Pundits are already calling him a surprise of the season. Owen Hargreaves? Solid 9 out of 10. Crouch? Also a 9. Darren Fletcher? 9 again. Then there's Phil Foden. Finally blinking back to life, he bagged the PFA Player of the Year 2 seasons ago and looked electric against Wydad, netting a goal in the Club World Cup opener. Bitter and blue. Don't forget the full arsenal behind the scenes. Tijani Reinders, Serie A's midfielder of the season, walked in from Milan with energy, composure, and creativity delivered on a silver platter. And line this up in your highlight reel, Gianluigi Donnarumma, the cerebral Italian shot-stopper fresh off a Champions League winning campaign with PSG, just arrived to challenge James Trafford. Ederson has hopped out, and Donnarumma's confidence and hero DNA are exactly what Pep's defense needs. Look at this lineup, man. Rodri is back, commanding midfield waves with precision passing. He clocked 88% accuracy against Brighton, mind you. Cherki equals creative dynamite. Foden, finally fit and sharp again. Savinho, Doku, and Haaland, stacked forwards with different flavor profiles. Donnarumma, a last-ditch wall in goal. Pep's hidden card? Squad depth. He might have moaned about too many players before, but in truth, This overload is his cheat code. More bodies means match fitness, rotation, and above all, tactical flexibility. He can swap lines like a buzzsaw slicing defense. It's time for the refudge up playbook. Deploy Cherki half free between winger and dismantle rigid defenses. Let Rodri anchor, letting Foden and Cherki swap lanes like illegal drivers on open roads. Haaland stays the focal point of terror. Donnarumma, the final boss in goal. Savinho Doku Marmoush backup magic. Of course, there's risk. Cherki's dealing with a thigh knock and could miss a couple months. And the early season's a dumpster fire, 2 losses in 3, a Brighton collapse, tactical cliches unraveling. Pep admitted, "We concede and then forget to keep playing." Dude's middle-aged football heartbreak. But here's the thing. Pep builds chessboards, not checkers fields. His vision isn't about instant fireworks. It's about methodical rebuilds. City's season may be in shambles, but the scaffolding is luxe. Creativity, Cherki, experience, Rodri, Foden, steel, Reinders, and certifiable world-class in goal, Donnarumma. Pep's still got cards up his sleeve. He's trading in creativity, fluidity, and that slightly unhinged Gen Z flair only Cherki or Savinho can deliver. If he times Cherki's return just right, if he toggles formation mid-game, cycles fresh legs, rosters people for 50 seconds of brilliance, he might just rewrite this narrative. Legends don't always end with confetti. Sometimes they rebuild from ashes, ugly, messy, heck, even embarrassing, but rebuild nonetheless. Pep's nightmare season isn't the end. It's the messy midpoint of his next masterpiece. So yeah, stay tuned, because when the illusions fade and the real magic begins, we might all realize the comeback was already in the script. Smash that like if you still believe in the fudging phoenix rising. Subscribe, hit the bell, because with Cherki, Rodri, Donnarumma, and maybe a little Peposis therapy, this disaster sequel could morph into a knockout act. Trust me, this story isn't done. Not by a long shot.